The numbers making up the first 45 minutes of play. And Richard, what jumps out at you here?
Well, shots on goal, very interesting. Crieghton out shooting St. John's, but St. John's had some quality chances. They have been equally dangerous. I think 1-1 is a fair indication of the trend of play. Look for a great second half.
All right, you mentioned that great second half. What do you anticipate in the second half? Will there be some changes made by either coach at halftime?
Well, if there's any that I'm looking for, I want to see if St. John's is going to come with Kickoff. He's a player of the year in the Big East. He gives them another attacking dimension. He must be really seriously injured if they haven't gone to him thus far.
It's been an ankle injury that's been keeping St. John's leading scorer Madufio Kalego out of the lineup for the Red Storm, at least thus far. We're coming back with this second half of play. Again, our halftime score 1-1 between the St. John's Red Storm and the Crieghton Blue Jays.
Elevator, that's what I'm going to do. Jump! On that elevator. Jump! On that elevator, that's what I'm going to do. Jump! On that elevator. Okay. Jump! On that elevator, that's what I'm going to do. Jump! On that elevator. Okay.
As New Yorkers, we see their dilemma every day, and deep down, most of us probably wish the homeless would just go away. But the majority of them can't, because the average age of a homeless person in the city of New York is 9. Homes for the Homeless knows, and they're focusing on educational programs for parents and their children. They realize that while education may not be their only chance, it is their best chance. You can help to ensure a brighter future for these children by calling Homes for the Homeless at 212-529-5252.
Johnson, Richard Broad, Tommy Mulroy back in Richmond, Virginia. Halftime NCAA semifinal between the Crieghton Blue Jays and St. John's Red Storm. And perfect place for a youngster to be, maybe tonight or tomorrow at the Richmond Center, is, of course, the fan zone. It's for kids of all ages, even us old kids.
It's the soccer wonderland. It has everything. It has bicycle kicks. It's got diving headers. It's got obstacle courses. It's got contests. They're giving free shirts away. Soccer balls, win it. It's all there.
Soccer celebrities there as well.
Soccer celebrities, MLS players, national team players, women Olympic team players. It's just 75,000 square feet of just soccer action.
But you know, when you're going to like championship weekends, you need to look well. And to look well, you need to have our College Soccer Weekly kit. It's item 2525 from Eurosport, the fabled soccer traders. 1-800-934-3876. It's only $19.95. Again, that includes the Adidas College Soccer Weekly t-shirt and the embroidered Adidas soccer hat. And I got a closer look at one of those hats. Those hats are nice.
You can get a real close look because College Soccer Weekly and Eurosport have a booth right there next to Adidas in Fan Zone. Get there.
Hey, well, we've got a nice little act going together. We can go on the home shopping club or something. So, anyway, the place to be this weekend if you can. And you can also eat at the Richmond Center, the Fan Zone. In fact, obviously eating healthy. Some yogurt, probably a player herself. But the Crieghton Blue Jays and the St. John's Red Storm are not concerned about Fan Zone right now, concerned about getting through to Sunday in the championship final. And Wojciech Krakowiak, I think he really showed that he is a player that not only is a player to be concerned about this year, but again, he's just a freshman for the St. John's Red Storm.
What an opportunist this fella is. He's gotten, I think it's 3 goals now in the NCAA tournament. Just very, very quick to capitalize on chances. You can't leave him open for a minute, as Crieghton found out in the first half.
Danny Braga in goal for the St. John's Red Storm. bit of a story there. Again, Chris DaCosta was expected to be the starting goalkeeper until he suffered a broken wrist. And John Epperson in goal for the Crieghton Blue Jays. So we're getting set here for the second half of play. Again, 1-1 the score. And very much on cue, the rain, and I'm telling you, heavy rain here in the Richmond, Virginia area all morning long. But right before our 2 o'clock Eastern time kickoff, the rain stopped. It was windy, rainy, just a miserable day. But it's turned into a good day for soccer. And we hope you are dry wherever you are and enjoying this one. And happy holidays as we get set for the second half between the St. John's Red Storm and Crieghton Blue Jays. Brought to you by Adidas against St. John's in the red jerseys, Crieghton in the white.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of tactical changes, especially in the first 15 or 20 minutes here. I think both teams are going to come out playing exactly how they played the first half. No reason to change. They both had the successes that they wanted to have. Obviously, one wants to be ahead, but if I were the coaches, I wouldn't ask them to change anything at this point.
Throw-in coming up for the St. John's Red Storm. Stefani Miglaranzi trying to get it through the Crieghton midfield. David Wright is back in the midfield, or rather defense, for the Crieghton Blue Jays. He was substituted at one point for Jeff Huber. Nice ball intended for Johnny Torres, just a little short. Now Ricardo Joseph floats one. Jesse Von Son stepping up. Joseph. Now Ben Hickey. Working it wide, making the run. Buscemi tied up there by Bernal, gets to the 6-yard box. Wojtek Kukowiak was there and almost flicked into the net.
Very, very close. Kukowiak right on the doorstep at that near post. The ball got through Mark Madeley and very nearly cost Brett Simon dearly.
On a dry day, when you can get to the byline and drive the ball to the near post, it's dangerous. On a wet day, it's impossible for a defender to get his feet around and touch it right and be able to clear it off.
Don't know if this is a conscious change, but Hickey and Joseph getting much more involved at the start of this half. That's good for the St. John Red Storm.
Jesse Von Son, the header off the foot of McTighe, and now flicked into the 6-yard box. David Wright heads it away for Crieghton, but another corner kick conceded to St. John's.
Creighton's back with their original starting lineup. They've got players like Garlick and Huber who can come off the bench, and Bustos, but Brett Simon going with that group that started, maybe to keep fresh legs on a very heavy, wet day.
So Bernal back in the lineup as well in the midfield for the Crieghton Blue Jays. Wojtek Kukowiak tees it up for Von Son. Headed through traffic, Wright could not clear it. And almost a chance to finish there for the St. John's Red Storm is Ben Hickey, who does a lot of the service, almost had a goal.
Got to get that ball out right away. You let a ball bounce in your box, it's an invitation to the other team to score. David Wright very fortunate he didn't pay for that.
Now Crieghton, John Epperson, the goal kick. So the Red Storm with a couple of good chances early here in the second half of play. Ricardo Joseph. Wojtek Kukowiak. He draws 2 markers. Bustos coming back to his forward position. And it will be a throw-in coming up for the Crieghton Blue Jays.
One change we're seeing, Mike Bustos on the right side, taking Jeff Dice's place in the wing position for Crieghton.
David Wright clears, but a throw-in coming up here for the St. John's Red Storm.
As a team in general, St. John's, once they lose the ball, they pressure and try to win it back quickly.
Miglaranzi. Far side, Buscemi scissors it.
And they've been very successful with that in different parts of the field. They lose the ball, someone misplays it, whatever. And rather than letting Crieghton have the transition and push to them, they go right at them and try to win it back quickly. And they've had some success with that and surprised them a bit.
Key to St. John's is their ability to stay compact and move up and back as a unit. Dave Mazer stresses this with his team. He's got to be pleased with the way they're playing thus far.
Jesse Von Son streaking through midfield. Von Son put the moves on. Now the shot. Oh, Von Son looking for the upper 90.
That's what Jesse Von Son does best. He played as a front runner in the past part of this season, but he's moved to the left-sided flank midfield. He's most dangerous when he can run at players, and David Mazer has moved him back there, and he's been much more effective ever since he's moved to a midfield spot.
That's the pressure Tommy was talking about. Epperson tried to clear it, and Carlo Crieghton was right on him. Now Now Bustos facing that pressure, and that pressure forces a turnover. Ben Hickey to Ricardo Joseph. 1-1 our score. St. John's get in the red jerseys. Ricardo Joseph. Flank to Buscemi. Now Daly putting it into space. Mark Madeley just allowed to go out of play. Goal kick.
St. John's with all the activity, all the control in the first 5 minutes. Don't know if Crieghton can withstand this kind of pressure. They've got to establish possession as they did so effectively in the first half.
Look at John Epperson, 5 minutes in to this second half of play. Our coverage of the NCAA semifinal. And Crieghton has had trouble getting out of their half of the field because of that St. John's pressure that Tommy Mulroy was talking about. Epperson, that's one way to do it. Bernal heads it, trying to get it on the flank to the tie, but it'll be a throw-in coming up. Look at Brett Simon of the Blue Jays. Also in that picture, Jeff Huber, who came off the bench. They see him more in the second half for the Blue Jays. Ross Pauly back to Zion Renfirm, and now the Blue Jays trying to get the possession back. Pauly putting it through midfield, trying to get it to Richard Mulrooney, and now Red Storm.
He uses his body nicely
Jesse
to step in front of people.
Sandwiched in midfield by Bustos and Madeley. It'll be a free kick coming up for St. John's.
Boy, can he run at players with a ball, Jesse Van Saun. He's very dangerous in that withdrawn position. An excellent move by Dave Mazur to change him around. He's able to do that with Krakowiak up front.
And now the free kick for the Red Storm. Hickey putting it into play. Daly working wide to Buscemi. He can take players on. Buscemi marked by Bernal. Buscemi trying to get to the byline, make the cross. Bernal slide tackles, wins the ball cleanly, and clears. Nice work on the part of the freshman from Chicago. That's Ben Hickey. Hickey doing well. Now Carlo Crieghton puts it back from Buscemi. His shot is blocked, and Crieghton able to clear. Now Torres pierces it ahead. Johnny Torres.
See him taking him quick looks left and right so he knows where he is when he gets to it.
And ball goes out of play as he and Stefani Miglaranzi exchange shoves. The referee, Roger Taylor, getting in the middle of that.
Did a great job there. He stepped in. He's having a moan at him. He's not pulling out the card right away, putting people in trouble. I think that that type of communication from a referee really puts him at another level. See him looking around there left and right so he knows where he is when he gets to the ball. He didn't feel like it crossed the whole line, and there was a little shoving and pushing here for it. So it was both of them. And
now back to live action. A foul call on Ricardo Joseph. So free kick for the Crieghton Blue Jays. 1-1 our score. The winner advances to play for it all on Sunday against the winner of the Florida International UNC Charlotte semifinal. Still to come. Madeley with a beautiful ball to Mulrooney. And Stefani Miglaranzi had to really stick him in there. Now, Miglaranzi, who prevented Mulrooney from making the cross, gives the ball up to Bustos. Headed away at the back, coming through Bernal. That'll be a goal kick for St. John's, but Bernal, the freshman, stepping up.
Dynamic player, another in those line of Batavia, Illinois players, young man named Mike Fisher, also out of Batavia, Illinois. Steve Bernal, another good player from there. But it was Mike Bustos' hard-driven cross that created that opportunity.
Kevin Daly headed it away, but right on to Steve Bernal. Jesse Van Saun trying to play it on the flank. To Hickey. Bustos sending it up, but instead Miglaranzi. Now Ricardo Joseph.
Joseph's really impressed me. Every ball he gives has perfect pace. He directs the player which way to turn by knocking it either a little to his left or a little to his right. He really sees the game. I see him all the time pointing, shoving players, get over here, push in here. I really like the way he plays.
Crieghton under pressure, Zion Renfirm putting it back to his keeper, John Epperson. And Epperson having to clear. Pauly showing for the header. The flick by Torres trying to get to the tie. Now Hickey plays it wide. coming up for St. John's.
St. John's really hasn't had much success when they've tried to play the long ball. When they're playing it to feed or playing it to space in front of someone like that.
This, Ben Hickey to Carlo Crieghton. You called it, Thomas. Oh, nice ball by McGranzy for Crieghton. Crieghton now. Epperson comes surging out. It'll be a goal kick as Crieghton went out of play.
Crieghton's been very impressive since coming off the bench at the end of that first half. I see Ranford Champagny stretching and warming up to go back on. I don't know if he'll go back on for Crieghton or at some other position, but he's done a good job. At this level, you need your substitutes to come on and carry you the way a Crieghton has.
And just a freshman from Whitestone, New York. So again, not only are these new teams to semifinal action, but we've seen really throughout college soccer, both men and women, freshmen are coming in and making an impact on their programs. Ricardo Joseph putting it wide. Lotta's going through that midfield of Joseph. Wojtek Krakowiak over there. Krakowiak now with the ball. Lots of for Joseph, back to Krakowiak. McGranzy there. Lets the ball do the work to Vansan. Vansan trying to get the byline and make the cross. It'll be a goal kick.
Boy, good things happen when the ball gets to Ricardo Joseph's feet, as he showed right there. Simple play. Didn't have to be too elaborate, but a great touch, creating that opportunity for the Red Storm.
Remember the fabled soccer traders? Eurosport. 1-800-934-3876 for the catalog. It's absolutely free and in color, living color. Ross Pauly with the header for the Blue Jays. The Red Storm trying to sort it out from their half of midfield. Hickey playing it up for Crieghton. Under pressure on Son from Bustos, but Ben Hickey trying to weave through. Bustos stays with it. Pavel Krakowiak intercepts the errant ball. Krakowiak playing it for Joseph with Mark Madeley. But now Crieghton, nice touch. The Red Storm have an attack. Hickey, McGranzy. McGranzy will take the shot, the ricochet. David Wright having to help sort that out for Crieghton. Assad trying to play through, but now Thomas Martin, the defensive midfielder for the Blue Jays, trying to clear it out. St. John's again. That was Buscemi winning the ball back, and now Hickey. And Hickey, a nice touch. Hickey may have a shot. He puts it for McGranzy. McGranzy! Off his right boot. The outside of his right boot. That'll be a goal kick, but he was playing that hope somebody was cutting and going to finish it.
Ben Hickey gets the ball. Good things happen. He did a terrific job that time, and McGranzy just trying to slip it by Epperson, who came and covered the near post. Look at it again. This is Hickey winning this ball. It's so poised. Perfectly paced pass. McGranzy coming from the back, tries to knock it by Epperson with the outside of his right foot. Just goes wide.
Substitutions been made. Jimmy Buscemi getting a break. Ranford Champagny's back in. Ben Hickey's still in there. Puts it out looking for Wojtek Krakowiak, but Bernal comes back to try to win the ball for the Blue Jays. But he has to deal with the pressure of Krakowiak, and a foul, free kick coming up for the St. John's Red Storm.
And that's where the pressure from St. John's is paying off, like just that. A lot of times forwards, they just waiting for the ball to get to them. They kind of like go and pressure the ball, but they don't really. And what they need to do is do exactly what St. John's doing. Go and pressure like you mean it and you're going to win it. Then all of a sudden, you put the defender in trouble, he fouls you, and here's some danger right here.
And Ben Hickey with that danger for the Red Storm. The service driven in. McGranzy chest traps and turns. That'll be a goal kick.
A lot of pressure, Tom, as you say, by the Red Storm against the Blue Jays thus far. They've not established possession. Richard Mulrooney had an excellent first half for Crieghton. He's not had much of the ball. Hickey and Joseph are taking over this game right now. And if they can keep the pressure on, it could result in a goal for St. John's.
And the only thing Dave Mazer was concerned about with this pressure, he just wanted to make sure that his players were tactically aware that they didn't get in a position that if they did lose the ball, that Crieghton could burn them on the counterattack. Now on the attack, ball played by Mulrooney for Johnny Torres. Torres battling to get to it. Creates space for himself. Now bends it to the 6. Ross Pauly is there. Now Mike Bustos drives it looking for Pauly. But Miglaranzi will clear it. He's got a wonderful game for St. John's. Wojtek Krakowiak, forward, coming back to win the ball. Pressure applied to Pavel Krakowiak. He handles it. Joseph, Ricardo Joseph. Nice touch through midfield. But Mark Madeley collects for Crieghton. Mulrooney now. Looking to spring. One of the front runners, but instead St. John's. Crieghton, a little touch for Joseph. Now put into space. With too much spice on it, it'll be a throw-in coming up for the Crieghton Blue Jays. And Jeff Huber getting set to check back in, replace David Wright. As we remind you, this portion of our match brought to you by Wheat First, Butcher Singer. So Huber comes back in. That is a substitution combination that we also saw in the first half of play as well.
Jeff Huber has a tremendous athleticism and also gives him a little bit more experience than David Wright. Fine player, just a freshman. I'm sure Brett Simon wants the experienced junior. Huber in the lineup now.
They played to the freshman, Bernal on the far side. Now Zion Renfro. Ross Pauly. Mulrooney's wide open here in space on the right side, but he has to
mishandled that one just a little bit.
I think he was so
trying
anxious
to make up for it.
Trying to get through, but Miglaranzi shuts him down. Now stepping up is Thomas Martin, the defensive midfielder.
Nice spin turn.
Now Mulrooney. McTighe goes up for the header. Now the Crieghton Blue Jays. Back flick by Torres to Bernal. The back flick to Rob Wild, the defender for St. John's.
That was really a great ball by Torres there. That heel, that improvisation, you can't teach. You can take it. You can be the best coach in the world, take whatever player you want. You can't teach that. You either got that or you don't got it. You're in a situation, you're in the middle of the crowd there, and just flick going with the heel with someone running the goal.
Ricardo Joseph running the goal for the St. John's Red Storm, but he's denied by Zion Redfern. And now counterattack chance here for Crieghton. Johnny Torres. On the ball for the Blue Jays. Torres spinning around Miglaranzi. Torres, far post, the header. It sails over.
It is so tough to defend against Torres because he has not just speed, but he has quickness. He's got the short little steps. He throws his body one way, the other way. He gets by you. As a defender, most of the time, you just kind of recover by stepping back and getting in the angle. But he's so fast, his acceleration leaves you, and you can't do anything.
Now, that play, Mark Madeley was the header, and we can see that, Richard, developing all the way from the back. And here's the finish of that.
Just going to say, here's Torres working that individual magic, and he's coming down to the byline. He managed to clip it in, and it's Madeley coming all the way from his sweeper position and narrowly misses putting the Blue Jays ahead.
So Madeley coming from his sweeper position, and you can pretty much call it like a billiard shot that was going to be the option Torres went to, and it was a very good option as it turned out. Jimmy Buscemi's checked back in. He's replaced Wojtek Krakowiak for St. John's, so substitution there as Dave Mazer tries to keep fresh legs. 62 minutes into this semifinal, our second half. 1-1 the score between Crieghton and St. John's. The Blue Jays get in the white jerseys, St. John's in the red. Crieghton trying to get more than flow of play, but again, that pressure's been a problem. Paulo Crieghton and Ben Hickey. Hickey trying to get around Mulrooney, and Hickey takes the shot. Goal kick coming up for Crieghton, but they're still having trouble getting it upfield.
Well, you've got to get the ball out of your own back end, and a lot of goals result from what they call attacking third repossessions when the defense gives it up in its own third. Richard Mulrooney has played very well today, but a very casual pass off to the flank put him in trouble, and Hickey almost made them pay.
Matt Garlick checks in. He replaces Thomas Martin this time. In the first half, Garlick replaced Bernal, but they're leaving Steve Bernal, the freshman, in on the left flank.
It's been dangerous attacking, and Garlick can play almost anywhere. Replacing Thomas Martin has played about as much today as he has all year in the defensive midfield spot.
There it is. Turnover by Huber to Ricardo Joseph. Buscemi is into the match. Crieghton getting the numbers back. Playing for Carlo Crieghton. Now Jesse Von Sack. It's in the net. It's in the net. Oh, it's in the net. A goal, St. John's.
Coaches all over the world try to get their teams to do exactly that. Combination play under pressure in the offensive third and finish. It happened right here in front of your eyes. Unbelievable play, big time.
It's like Green Bay there. They go to the fans.
great finishing, but an attacking third repossession. Tom, you mentioned the pressure that St. John's is putting on. They put the pressure on, and Crieghton gave it up in the back.
Here it is. Here's one. Turns back, lays it across. He lays it just back, and he tucks it. It was just a perfect play.
Buscemi to Carlo Crista to Jesse Von Son, and it's 2-1 now in favor of the Red Storm. And back to live action. Well, actually, again, we see the replay, and there's the finish. 2-1, the Red Storm take the lead. Free kick now by Mulrooney. This one not cleared off of Torres's head. It'll be a goal kick as the Red Storm are facing a storm from Crieghton.
Seems like it takes a goal to get Crieghton to come out of the back and get more pressure on. They're most dangerous when they can put the ball forward, and they played a lot of this game, a lot of the second half in their own back end, and that attacking third repossession forced by the Red Storm gives them the goal, gives them the lead.
That's a good point, Richard. We saw that in the first half. St. John's got the goal, and that seemed to spark Crieghton. And indeed, they got an equalizer, but now they're down 2-1. Ross Pauly for the Blue Jays. Overlapping on the flank, Mike Bustos, but Pauly brings it back in the middle. Into space, Ramsey clears with authority. 65 minutes into this match, 2-1. It's been an entertaining one. One of two matches today. We still have Florida International, UNC Charlotte. As you saw Dave Mazur in his 6th season at St. John's. It's at Montclair State before that.
Played at Rutgers, didn't he?
Yep.
He's been around good college soccer programs for a long time.
And a lot of what he's done is taken from Bob Riasso, that training that they have in that fine program at Rutgers. Dave Mazur's applied at St. John's. His success has been phenomenal in the 6 years he's been head of the Red Storm.
Ross Pauly now for the Blue Jays as they try to find the solution to that St. John's pressure. Huber, the long ball. Ramsey now for St. John's. The wind picks up here in Richmond, Virginia. Long ball that Jimmy Buscemi. It's around the defender. Mark Madeley still under pressure from Ricardo Joseph, but finally they get it through the flank to Steve Bernal. Bernal, nice ball for Brad McTighe. This one, though, let's see if he can get to it. He's not going to be able to. Just skips a little bit too much, but a good idea to see McTighe on that left flank.
Johnny Torres is so dangerous that he's occupying two players whenever he gets in a dangerous position. Crieghton's got to get up and support him. A lot of times they play the ball into Torres, and they don't have players there to support. It creates a difficult situation for him to make things happen as good as he is.
Dave Mazur, the head coach, wanting to get his leading scorer of the match, Modifico Gallego, as they call him, KK Gallego, but he will not be entering just yet. But again, that's the player that limited.
I think he's a little upset at the fourth official.
Mulrooney taken down by Ricardo Joseph. Play on, though. The advantage rule, Bernal. Bernal denied by Pavel Kukoviak. We'll have a corner kick coming up here for Crieghton. That's KK Gallego, again, who's been bothered by an ankle injury that's kept him out of the starting lineup, but he is the leading scorer for St. John's with 36 points. Richard Mulrooney on this corner kick for the Crieghton Blue Jays. Mulrooney. It's not clear. Daly tried to clear it. Now the header by Huber. Red from Ross Pauly.
You've got to clear those balls. Defenders cannot let it bounce around from chest to chest, from foot to head. You got it. Ball comes in, it's got to get cleared clearly.
Official timeout of the field. 2-1 the score. The St. John's Red Storm with the lead, and that's a concern right now for the Crieghton Blue Jays. The Red Storm on the Jesse Von Son goal have the lead, at least for now. We're coming back with more.
Are you a soccer fan? Then get the edge on the sport you love. Read Soccer America. Don't miss any weekly soccer news. U.S. national teams, international, scores, profiles, Major League Soccer, college. Soccer America delivers total soccer coverage every week. Call 1-800-335-GOAL to start your subscription. Just $29.97 for 20 weekly issues of Soccer America. Call 1-800-335-GOAL now.
Knicks fans, now you can catch New York Knicks basketball games on MSG Network in Spanish. Just press the SAP button on your television set or your remote to turn the Spanish audio on or off, or check your television manual for instructions. This service is available on the following cable systems. It's New York Knicks basketball games in Spanish on MSG Network. We're all over it.
MSG Network's Children's Community Outreach program, Yes, Make It Count, urges you to support your community. Hi, I'm Al Troutwig. My colleagues and I work